What's up, warriors? It is me, LC, founder of Hope and Recovery Network, your host for the Rise Up Recovery YouTube channel, and your motivator for this Thank God It's Friday live. And guess what? Oh no, they still got me up. I'm still on lockdown till 8:15 this morning. Gosh. All right, it's on y'all again, man. Y'all get this out. Get it out. Bring people in. Let's get this stuff going. I'm going to send out a few personal invites while I can. What's up, everybody? All right, I hope you guys are going to get this out to all of your friends and groups and all of your just beautiful tribes. All right. Let's get going. I am pumped up today. It is Friday. It's a beautiful day. I am just loving life. I am loving you guys for sure. You guys light me up every single solitary day. I adore spending my mornings with you guys. I hope that you have identified your best time of day. I don't know what time of day that is for you, but I pray that you have identified it, because that is a big key to the puzzle of success, is knowing when your best time of day is. And when you know that, which is a strategy, and you guys know that I love strategies, then you know when you rock the best, and you can fill up that time with amazing, most of your amazing tasks for the day. When we try to do stuff and we try to throw in tasks when we are, tired and hungry and all of that good stuff, a lot of times that's why we make mistakes, and it's why we find ourselves, feeling like failures or whatever we feel like, is because a lot of times we're overwhelmed and we try to do too much at the very wrong times in our day. So, identifying your best time of day, when you are at your best, when you feel your best, is a strategy for winning and success. All right. I have sent out a bunch of invites here. Now I'm going to count on you beautiful, amazing, mighty warriors to send out the rest. And then we're finna get started. I say that, and here I am still sending out invites. Still. And still. And still. Y'all give me 1 second. There we go. All right. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing this morning? Is this not a great day to be alive? Great day to be in recovery? A great day not to wake up sick and busted and disgusted and trying to just drudge through life? Oh, this is a beautiful, amazing day. I love my life, guys. I love my life. Is it perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Do I still struggle with stuff? Yes. But you know what? That is the beauty. The beauty of life today is that I can struggle through a few things, learn from them, and move forward. Move forward is the key to all of our success. If we're constantly moving forward, then it really doesn't matter what we fail to do, or fail to get right, or fail to get perfect. Because when you're moving forward at whatever pace that is, you are moving towards success. You are moving towards, you're just rocking your recovery lifestyle. That's what recovery is about. It's about constantly moving forward. Every time you feel like you make a mistake or you feel like you fall down, you've got to just get up, pick yourself back up, learn from your mistake, and make valuable strategies in the midst of that. That's how we rock this thing called life, and amazing how we rock this thing called recovery. Recovery and sobriety are completely different things. Sobriety is abstinence. Sobriety is just denying yourself your drug of choice. But recovery is healing yourself from the inside out, finding where you truly fit in this world, finding your true purpose, and then moving towards it with everything you've got. Many of us have lost portions of our lives to our disease. There's probably not too many of us that have not been saved by Narcan, which means that you have been given an amazing new opportunity in this world, in this life, in this recovery revolution. And I beg of you, wherever you are today in the world, mentally, emotionally, that you will realize your value in what we're doing here. Realize your place in this and stand up and take it. You know, mark your territory. Find your passions. Find what it is that drives you. Find something that gets you up out of bed every day and moves you forward. We cannot afford to get stagnant in life or recovery. We're not those kind of people. See, we are highly called and highly purposed. That's why we have been afflicted with the disease of addiction anyway. We are your most creative. We are your musicians, your poets, your artists, your motivators, your speakers, your everything. We are your caseworkers. We are your counselors. That is what we are. And because we are those kind of people, and we're so in touch with our internal beings, knowing how good and amazing we truly are, when something happens in our lives and we kind of get knocked off balance, and our inner being is, gets knocked down a little bit, we get confused, and many times we take it harder than other people do, because we are sensitive and emotional beings. We are made to constantly be evolving in this life. So let's move past feeling bad and sorry for ourselves and our past. Let's take full responsibility of where we are in this day, and let's get motivated to pick up our passions and run forward like the warriors we are, being not afraid of any obstacle that puts itself in our path. Nothing. Because you have taken on so much and come from so much in your life that if you'll just flip your focus to be able to see what an amazing rock star you really, really are, and stop looking at all the ways that you feel like you've lost, fallen down, or failed, you will get a new lease on life that will wake you up in the morning, and you won't need an alarm clock, and you won't need anybody to motivate you out of bed. Your passion will jump you straight up out of bed, and your feet may never hit the floor, because that's how you will be moving. When you finally get a hold of that thing that you finally just fit in this life, I cannot tell you the amount of pure internal happiness and fulfillment that you will feel. And it's not about reaching that thing. It's about all that you learn in the journey of that thing. Now, I would be lying to you to say that it is easy. To whom much is given, much is required. You've always had to fight harder than the rest. You've always had to do that. You know that. I know that. We've always had to fight past things that are obstacles in front of us, tragic happenings, tragedies in our lives. We've always had to fight past that. And we will conquer and fight past that now. Plain and simple. If you never give up and you never give in, then what are you? You're a warrior, because you stay in it till you win. And that is the entire purpose of the lease that we've been given on life. Listen, we are at the eve of Overdose Awareness Day, which is tomorrow, the 31st of August. And let me tell you, we are losing 200 beautiful souls per day. Per day. And in fact, I would probably be okay to guess that number has risen. And so if you don't run to your mirror every morning and know how blessed you are to be here, then I beg of you to do it. It probably is, Alicia, it probably is up over 500. These stats, in just what we have experienced in 2017, we were losing 70,000 people just in 2017. We're growing up to over 200,000 people that are losing their lives, that have lost their lives to the disease of opioid addiction. And so, if that doesn't inspire your greatness, if that doesn't help you understand and get a hold of the gratitude that you are still here and you have another chance to make your life all that it was designed to be. This is serious, y'all. This is real life. This is so serious. It is not a game. We're not playing a game out here. These streets are real. This disease is real. People every day are losing their mothers and brothers and sisters and fathers, aunts, uncles, friends. Guys, I was losing friends at such an alarming rate that I still suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder when I try to make another friend. It scares me because every single time I've made a close friend, especially my male friends, I've lost them. And it got to where I cut myself off from people and emotions because I didn't want to get close to anybody because I was afraid. I was afraid to lose them because it is such a hard thing to really grasp. You know, my Jennifer Hatcher, I love you so much, who lost her daughter coming up on, what has it been, 2 years ago now, Jennifer? You know, our good friend Mary Huffman lost her daughter. It is not easy, but these women and men and parents and siblings and all of them that get out and they speak about and celebrate the lives of their children and talk about their stories, let me tell you, they're changing lives with those stories, and I applaud them. Wayne Stone lost 22 family members last year. Listen, we have a job to do here, y'all. We've got a job to do here, and it is going to take us to change what's happening in our world today. It's up to us to save this next generation, because we haven't even seen all that this opioid epidemic has produced yet. See, we've got children that have grown up in our families while we were addicted. We don't know where they're going to be. You feel me? We don't know what they're going to suffer from. I know my own son suffers from an online gaming addiction, and it's just as real as heroin addiction. You get in the way of that game and you watch what comes out of him. I don't even know him. I do not even know him, but I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm looking at when there's something gets in the way of him and his addiction. I know what I'm looking at. So we've got to learn to look in between the cracks and the empty spaces for what's happening with this next generation. All of the babies that have been born addicted, that's who we're fighting for, y'all. That's who we're changing this for. Not only for us, we're changing this for the sick and the suffering, the dying that are out in the street today, holding a sign, trying to get money so that they can run and just be well for the day. When you see those people, the first thing you know is they don't believe that they are worth anything more than holding that sign and putting that needle in them. We know that because we were there. Regardless of what our drug of choice is, that's just the details. The disease is addiction. It is a disease that is our number one killer in our country today. And that is mind-blowing. We are surpassing HIV and AIDS. We are surpassing cancer. We are surpassing the major diseases in here. And it is up to us what we're doing. So if you don't think that you've got a job in this fight, you don't think that you've got a post to man, you are wrong. And let me be the first to help you acknowledge that that is stinking thinking. Because you are here breathing in and out. And everyone who used last night is not. Everyone who uses today won't be here this afternoon. They might not be here in the morning. But for every single day that you create new strategies in your life, that you drive your recovery forward, and you walk in it with everything you've got every single day, you are winning the war. And you are making a difference. And every single time you offer compassion to someone that you see that is still suffering, you are making a difference. Every single time you jump in a car and you drive someone to treatment, you are making a difference. Every single time that you purchase one of these shirts or a shirt from a different recovery retailer, every time you do that, you're making a difference. Every time you answer the call to help someone get to treatment, you're making a difference. Every time you tell somebody your story of redemption and recovery, you're making a difference. Every time you celebrate and share the life of your fallen mother, brother, soldier, whatever, every time you share that, as hard as it is, you're making a difference. I'll say this 1,000,000 times, even the smallest pebble dropped in the water creates huge ripples. Huge. The size of it doesn't matter. It's how far it goes. That's all that matters. And so what I had planned to really talk about today was how we need to take action steps. We've got to get off of just having hope. Hope is the main ingredient, the number one ingredient for change. We got to hope that it's possible for us. We've got to create hope for people that are still out there. We've got to create hope that this thing can be changed. But if we stop at hope, in 20 years, everything's going to still be the same, and we're just going to be hoping. Listen, hope is the first ingredient. And you got to hope to create belief. But behind that, you have got to begin to take action steps towards that. It's a gumbo, y'all. It is a gumbo. And I don't know if any of you are from the deep south like me, from down around Mobile and New Orleans and all of that stuff, but we eat gumbo, and gumbo is a little bit of everything. You throw everything in the pot, put some seasoning in it, cook it for a couple days, and it's the best thing you've ever had. That's the same in this recovery revolution. It takes all of us, with all of our different ways of recovering, throw them all in a pot and we create a revolution. But we don't get there without taking action steps. Hope without action steps are just lost wishes. They're just wishes. They're just, well, I wish things would change. Well, that's kind of taking the easy way out, isn't it? I could wish things would change too. But I tell you what I'd rather do today. I'd rather put my boots on the ground and get out there and take some steps to make sure it changes. Because that way, in 20 years, I can know I did all that I could. Versus still sitting there wishing things would change. Wishes without action are wasted. It's okay to wish, because wishes ride side by side with hope. You can't wish for something if you don't hope it's going to be there or hope it's going to happen. And then you got to hope so much that you come to believe that it's possible for you. Once you believe it's possible, then you start taking those action steps towards it. Set a goal for yourself, even if it is to tell one person your story. Even if it is to offer a hand of support. Even if it is to volunteer once a week to do whatever it is that you feel called to do. You know, some people feel called to do the needle exchange. Some people feel called to, pick up dirty needles from people and hand out new ones. Some people feel called to feed the homeless. Some people feel called to do Facebook Live. Some people feel called to drive people to treatment. Some people feel called to answer crisis lines. It takes all of that to make this thing real. And it takes all of that and all of us to stamp out the disease of addiction, because it is a curable disease. Unlike a lot of the rest of these things, we can cure this disease. Because we can get out and show people that there is life after active addiction. There is life without dope. There is beautiful life without dope. And it's just about getting over those new hurdles, those really hard places that you start to understand and begin to experience this recovery life. And you must understand what an amazing opportunity that you have. These next 2 days have to drive home how blessed you are to be alive. Because there are parents that I know, even myself, that would give almost anything to have one more day with some of the people that we've lost, with all of the people we've lost. And every day that I wake up, I name one of those people in my head when I open my eyes. And I say to myself, what would John do with my life today? And I get up out of bed and I go to it, regardless of what my stinking thinking might want to tell me. This disease doesn't take a day off, and neither can our service work. Neither can our fire and warrior spirit of recovery. It can't take a day off either. Because if we let the disease get up ahead of us, then it's going to take out more people. And we need to get there to get in between that. We need to lock arm in arm and stand together right here, blocking this thing. It doesn't matter how you find recovery. It doesn't matter whether you go to 12-step meetings, whether you go to Celebrate Recovery, whether you do personal development and bring it into your recovery. It doesn't matter if you do MAT, methadone, Suboxone. It doesn't matter how you do it. If you're doing it, step out. Let yourself be known. Let your way be known, because people are different. And we can grab strategies from every single person. I don't find my way in 12 steps, but I have a lot of beautiful warriors that do. And every day I take a little bit from there, I take a little bit from here, a little bit from here, and a whole lot from here, and a whole lot from here. And I make this beautiful recovery gumbo that I call LC's Recovery. What's your recovery? How do you find it? Let it be known. Stop being afraid. It's all good. You're going to take a little flack. People are going to have some stuff to say about you. There are always going to be some haters, but let me tell you this. If you're getting hated on, you're doing something right. Because people don't care if you ain't making a difference. If you ain't out here to be seen. And by the way, too, I want to say that. I want to say this about the hating, the jealousy, the envy, all of that crap. If it's you that's hating, if it's you that's jealous, throw off that jealousy and step out into your own purpose. Stop letting fear stop you. Stop hating on others out of your fear. You have every opportunity to step right out into the same things that the people you're hating on are doing. You can even do it better. So stop hating. Stop letting that awful jealousy and envy infect you, infect your mind and your heart, because it's stopping you from being a part of this movement. It's not helping you move forward, and that stinking thinking will sink down and infect you until it gets way down past your heart, down there where relapse lives, in the pit of your gut. We got many opportunities. There's enough out here for everybody. Everybody. Your promise is written beside your name. It does not say that you're going to have to fight 15 other people to get yours. That was dope mentality. Dope mentality said get there first. Dope mentality said get there first to get the best and the biggest. That's what dope mentality says. Recovery says there's enough out here for all of us. Every one of us can do everything that we've all ever dreamed to do. And we don't have to fight each other to do it. And if we're still continuing to have discord and a bunch of junk and drama go on in our community, well, we're just looking like fools out here, aren't we? But I tell you, rise above. Rise above all that chit chatter and junk. Rise above all that. Keep doing you. Especially if you're getting hated on. Stand up taller. Put your armor on thicker. I know it hurts. I get my fair share. Trust me. You don't get to be transgendered LC out here talking about God and recovery and think people ain't gonna hate on me, because they do it every day. I hear so much junk that you would be amazed. If I told you some of the stuff that has been said to me, said about me, the people that have tried to take me down just because they don't agree with how I find my true happiness or live my authentic truth, you would probably say, LC, why are you doing this? Like, how do you put up with that? Let me tell you, I don't. I don't put up with it. I do not even let it in my experience. And when it somehow gets past the gate, I quickly deal with it, put it to bed, and throw it away. Some things are harder than others. I'll never forget, ever forget, the first time I ever spoke out about my addiction. I was still in active addiction. And I went somewhere, and a guy from the Star News was there, and he was giving out free $50 Walmart gift cards for people to come and tell their story about their opioid epidemic story. And I thought, shoot, I could use that $50, man. That's I could say well that day. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna get that. This guy lied to me. He said, "Oh, we're gonna take some pictures. Nobody will ever know it's you. Blah blah blah. It's gonna be great. You're gonna change lives, this, that, and the other." Within the next 2 weeks, the back of my big fat head being shot up in the neck was plastered across the front page of the biggest newspaper in our area. Goes out over several counties. You sure know it was me. If you knew me, you knew it was me. I was devastated. Devastated. And then I read the comments. Ooh. Ooh. Let me tell you how hurt my heart was that day. Oh my gosh. One of the ones that I remember and I'll never forget, and I pray God one day allows me to meet this woman when I am all that I have been called to be. Because her comment was, we should take that one and all addicts and put them on a deserted island with only what they needed to survive for 30 days. Then let's see if they'll get over that addiction. Heartfelt, right? Make you want to crawl in a hole, right? Make you want to find her house, right? Make you got some stuff to say, right? Man, it was rough. It was rough. But I've always been the kind that tell me I can't, and let me show you I can. Tell me I can't, and I'll show you I can. So I learned how to use those things as fuel to my fire to get where I'm going, because I will prove the naysayers wrong. You may not know who I am right now, but let me tell you this. Within the next 5 years, you absolutely will. Because I won't shut up until I see changes continue to happen, until treatment is available for every person who needs it, till family recovery services are available in every area of our country. Every area. Not just one. We need to recover as a family. Most families that have addiction in them, both parents are addicted. And they have children. And there needs to be services that are there for all of them. I love what Rose Recovery and Support does, Mr. Tim Capps, by helping house women off the street into recovery, because we don't hardly have places for women. And so therefore women are dying at alarming rates because they're either on the street and they're being harmed, they're stay in abusive relationships because they have nowhere to go, because we don't have enough resources, because it didn't used to be a female problem. It was a mostly male problem. And when are we going to get over the mindsets from the 1700s and realize that with equality, we all suffer? What about your LGBT community? So many homeless, sick, and dying because they've been thrown out of their families and their homes to be who they truly are. That should tell you right there it's not a damn choice. The only choice you've got is, do I ever get to feel comfortable in my own skin? And what does that have to cost me? The choice that gets made is that I would rather be me than a part of a family that can only love me if I live up to their expectations. That's the choice. And so, how many people have to die for us to come around to a way of change? I have fought my own state. I have gotten the greatest opportunity to help write my state's opioid action plan for 2 years in a row. 2 years. I've gotten to help create laws like the STOP Act, the Good Samaritan Law, needle exchange. I got to be a part of that. Me, the person who wasn't supposed to live this long, who wasn't going to make it. I was going to be dead or incarcerated before I turned 21. Or Like somebody said to me in a treatment center one day when I was 14, I was going to be the cat that put a gun to my head and blew my brains out. That's something to say to a 14-year-old, isn't it? Isn't it? But again, here I am. There you are. How many people have told you that you weren't worth it? You couldn't do it. You won't make it. Show them up. Show them up. That's what we're here to do. And whatever it takes to motivate you to step in and do that, use it. Use it. I say everybody needs a Bob. That was my stepfather. God rest his soul. You know, he's died now 18 months ago. But before he did, we carved a new relationship. But way back in the day when I first got here and landed on his scene, I got to hear how disgusting I was to him, how I'd never make it, how he couldn't stand me. But you know what? I turned that into fuel. And before he passed, he had become so impressed with what I had done in my life that he no longer saw me in the light that he used to see me in. And he had to respect me. And he said that to me. And so when he died, we died in an amazing place. So, who is your Bob? Where's your Bob? You better find a Bob. You gotta find the fuel for your fire, your recovery fire. Because it's going to be what drives you on those days when you are white-knuckling, holding on to sobriety with everything you've got. And all that you want to do is make that one quick jump down the street to the man's house. Nobody will know, just you. But what we do in the dark always comes to the light in one way or the other. So wherever you are in this thing today, stand up. Take your place on the battle line and get to fighting. This is a revolution, baby, and you're a huge part of it. We need you. Whatever it is you do, there are many jobs here, many jobs. And don't think that all the ones that you want are taken, because we're just getting started. We are just getting started. You ask Drew Hicks. You ask Higgy. You ask Carl. You ask, there's a few others. You asked them about 3 years ago when none of this was going on. And look where we are today. Look at the mad talent that's coming out of here today. Look at the amazing people that have stood up, cleaned themselves off of the junk, and stepped out into the light to give of themselves to the betterment of humanity. All the people that nobody believed in are the same ones that learn to believe in themselves and step out here, because you got to have something to fight for. It's so much easier to get into the fight when you know exactly what you're fighting for. So what's your one thing? Get your one thing. Whatever it is that you got to start. Whatever it is that gets you out there and gets you going, that helps you take action steps. Grab a hold of it. Is it your kids? Is it proving someone wrong? Is it your Bob? Is it just sheer determination to see what this life is about? Because for me, I couldn't understand why so many beautiful people that loved life, even though they were addicted, had died around me when I was the one praying for death. And they were so much better than me. Therefore, it became my pure mission and passion to find out what it was that I was left here to do. Even if it is to speak out for each and every one of them. So what is your one thing? How will you begin today to take action steps toward it? Remember, It's not about leaping all the way to the top. It's about taking that first half step forward. That's all you got to do to start the momentum of moving forward in life. That's it. Life success and recovery success go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You see? There's so much that this encompasses that you working on recovery and making strategies for your recovery is going to change your life in every way. If you want to change your outside circumstances, start working inside of here, especially in here. This is where the disease lives, guys. It lives here. You know, some other things are identified. If you have liver cancer, well, you know where it lives. If you have throat cancer, you know where it lives. Well, I'm here to tell you that your disease of addiction lives here, and it's closely connected to your heart. It's a disease of a broken spirit, guys. It's a disease of broken thought processes. You have everything you need on the inside of you already. There's not one thing that you need on the outside of you to help you get where you're going. Because in fact, every single thing you need to live this life and rock your recovery already lives on the inside of you. It's just about creating proper strategies to get out in front of the things that would try to trip you up. And knowing yourself, becoming self-aware, becoming super conscious. I call what I live conscious recovery. Because I have gotten so far into myself and have become so self-aware that it has helped me create strategies that defeat my opponents. And the only way you can really create proper strategies is to get to know your enemy. And the old African proverb is, if there is no enemy within, then the enemy outside cannot harm us. So it is us that we're fighting. It is not really outside of us. Nothing has meaning until we give it meaning. That comes from the inside of us. So whatever we are experiencing on the outside with other people, or whatever we are justifying our use or relapse with, remember, we can't even begin to get well until we take full responsibility for who and where we are. Not in a way that we beat ourselves up, but in the way that if we don't realize it, we can't fix it. A problem shared is a problem solved. Share with yourself. Stop being afraid to get to know you. You are a mighty human being. Beautiful, amazing soul. You've got mad talent on the inside of you that is so absolutely needed that if it doesn't get given by you, the world will never experience it. And it was given to you for a specific purpose, for such a time as this. It's no accident that you are in recovery at the time that our country is facing, our world is facing its biggest and worst epidemic in its history. So be willing to find the message in your mess. Find the blessing in all those lessons. Harness them and move them out to the world. The world needs you, and we deserve to get the experience of you. I adore you guys so much, so much, so much. I really do. And I believe in you with everything that's in me. So decide today. Decide what action step you're going to take. Don't you dare take no huge step. Don't try to take 2 steps at a time. Take 1 step. The road to success starts with that first step. If you let fear keep you at the starting line, you'll never, ever know what's at the finish line. So remember, fear is just false evidence appearing real. Most of it's not even real. So let's stop being afraid. We weren't afraid when we filled that needle up just as full as we could get it. When we put it in and pushed, we weren't fearful then. And if we were, we went through it and went past it because it was a must. Now make identifying and giving your passion your must today. And then every day after that. We owe it to the ones that have lost their lives for this. This is our job and our duty for them. We recover every day for them, knowing that they are here with us, and they are walking with us, and they are pushing us forward. They are blazing paths, and they are guiding us. We owe it to them. And I'm so grateful to have the honor to be here to speak for them and to live for them. I'm so grateful, so grateful. Blessed beyond measure, blessed and unstoppable, just like you all. So, I would love for you guys to make sure that you drop your action steps down in the comments. Move this thing out. Get the message out. Let's make it go as far as it can go. You guys are the ones that push this stuff out. I'm just the one that stands here and talks to you until you're probably ready to go, enough! You guys push it out. You're the one that make these things successful. You're the ones that move this message forward. And I can't tell you how grateful I am, honestly, to all of you for all of those amazing support that you give me, for being a part of my journey, for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Me? I wasn't even supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to do all this. I was so afraid to speak in public that I changed my major in college 5 times to try to avoid speech class, and quit high school and got a GED to avoid speech class. Crazy, isn't it? The plans that God has. Don't fight Him on His plans today. If you feel that knowing inside of you, feeling you called a certain way, stop fighting God on the purpose. Lean into trust. Lean into your hope. And get to action stepping, baby. Get to action stepping. That's what it takes. I adore you guys and pray that you have the most amazing Friday of your entire life, knowing that every day that you wake up and get to breathe in and out is a day that can be your best ever. I want you guys to be fully aware of some of the events that are going on tomorrow. The Fall Recovery Crawl kicks off tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central and 4 p.m. Eastern. Max, you can tell us what time that is in Cali. I don't know. I think it's 3 hours behind us. I think. I don't know. I'm not trying to do math here. Y'all don't want to see that. That will turn ugly. I'll make a mess. That's going to start, and I'm going to be with Bradley Bagwell and get to start that thing out, and I'm so honored to do that with her. That is a rock star. That's going to be on the Recovery Crawl page. Then we've got a huge event here in the Wilmington, North Carolina area. If you're anywhere close, we're going to have some of your favorite recovery rock stars out there speaking. Mr. Tim Capps, Miss Rachel Beverly, the Sober Momster's going to be out there, I found out. And Tim, what time does that start? I'm not sure. What is it at, like 2? I think it's 2 p.m. or something. But I'm sure there's amazing overdose awareness. I know Mr. Matty Jablonski has got a big event going on tomorrow as well. So get over to the Point of Change and check out what he's got going on tomorrow. That's in the Wisconsin area. There is so much going on. And this pleases me because here we are, and every August the 31st, since this epidemic started, that we've named this Overdose Awareness Day, events have grown in leaps and bounds, which means we are doing it, y'all. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., Mr. Tim Cap said. That's at Greenfield Lake, right here in Wilmington, North Carolina. That's the How Fest. I think it's Hope Over Heroin, get the H out of Wilmington, something like that. But 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you're in the area, please get out there. You'll get to see some of these folks speak right there on stage in front of you. Get to shake their hands, get to talk to them. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. I'll be out there too, so you guys come out and join us. And listen, the first thing you can do today to start your recovery forward is, if you are feeling weak, you can reach out. There's no excuse anymore. There are resources at your fingertips. If you can't get out of your house, you can pick up your phone and go to Messenger, or you can get on one of these pages. There is so many people out here ready and willing to help you. You must just get the secret outside of you. You got to tell on those feelings that want to take everything you love about yourself, and ultimately your life. All right? And you guys, let's live this day proudly, loudly, in honor of all of our fallen brothers, sisters, cousins, mothers. Sorry about that. Everyone. Because what they would do with our lives today would pale in comparison to anything that we could probably even think to do. So let's live our lives in honor of them, knowing that their stories change and save as many lives as our redemptive stories do. All right, guys, I've held on to as much of your time as you possibly can stand. So guys, make sure you get this out there, grow our message, show the love. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Now y'all go get out of here and have the best Friday of your life. I'll be back on live tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Join me here. I'm going to have Mr. Wayne Stone on my feed with me on my live. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. Mr. Late Night Rockin' Recovery, Wayne Stone. I know everybody knows who that is. He's a rock star of recovery and just a beautiful man. Just a beautiful heart warrior, spirit, gladiator man. And I love him to death, and I'm honored to have him on. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. You guys have an amazing, amazing day. Bye, guys.